Howdy doody, kiddaroonies. I am your host, A Spirit King. Founder and chief editor of AceAnimeReviews.com. I use he, him pronouns, and if you're listening to this, I am your dad now. So, finish your homework and do your chores, and we'll go hang out at the river later. Doesn't that sound like fun, champ? Anyway, joining me today are...
I'm Chuck, they, him, and I'm slightly more inclined to be here than our next host.
Yeah.
I'm dead inside.
Yeah, dead inside.
Oh, Flash isn't an attack. God damn it.
Dead inside uses they, them pronouns, and they're very tired today.
Yeah.
We
I've
will
got a killer headache.
Funsies.
You can talk whatever you want. I don't care. I'm not gonna talk anymore.
Yeah. Also known as Noah Haley, and we are known as AceAnimeReviews.com, which is exactly what it says on the tin. A review site, if I could pick it up, specializing in anime, although we also cover movies, video games, and whatever else we feel like. Our most recent article was by Dead Inside, and it was a review of Omniscient Reader, which is very good. And so I just wanted to say my piece real quick on your note about the pacing, Noah. That I have been reading it week to week since it came out, and I don't find the pacing problems as bad, though I also agree that they do need more downtime. So it's not a good one to binge, but if you watch it, read it every week, it's paced a bit better. So that's just my 2 cents on that. Anyway, and this is the point of the intro where we'd like to shout out our newest supporters on Patreon, but as we do not have any, we will instead move on to briefly describing the good and fun perks you'll get if you decide to support us. At the $1 tier, you'll be granted early access to our weekly reviews, be able to watch the recordings of these discussions as soon as they finish uploading instead of waiting until Saturday, and you'll get the ability to vote in any polls we decide to put up. At $5, you'll be invited to join the Ace Anime Reviews Discord, where you could chat with us and other patrons about anime, video games, manga, whatever else. And at $10, you'll be able to nominate books for the Ace Anime Book Club, as well as being automatically entered into a monthly drawing to join us for one of these weekly discussions. And that's all the boring stuff done. Let's get into it. So, Haley, you did not like Vivi's ending. Please explain why.
Because I thought it was boring.
Oh, was that it?
Also,
It just fucking ends. Like...
Well, it's set up for her to sing, so she sings, and then that's the ending.
They cleared the bare minimum. You're
Yeah.
right. That makes it automatically a perfect ending.
They went to what
You didn't get any kind of actual catharsis out of it.
the song is the
Like, oh, she
catharsis.
wakes up and in some... No, it's not.
if they'd left it on they both died, that would have been a slightly better ending.
You think so?
Yeah.
Rather
I
than,
mean-
Well,
It
I
would have
mean,
been slightly
what?
better, but it still wouldn't have been
Yeah.
good.
it's
Also, the singing was not the catharsis we needed. It was the emotional climax of the show, and then it just ends. It just ends like that. All of the AI are dead, and all except for Elizabeth, because Elizabeth is special. Fucking. That's not true. Only Diva's dead, isn't she?
well, I guess they either got
But like, it was just boring.
you were bored. I don't know. I thought
Very boring.
thought it was good. I mean, it's possible, like, you could make the argument that the last scene is just kind of like in Vivi's head, you know, like her little classroom type thing. Like, I know she doesn't look like she does it there, but still, it's like AI heaven.
It's, yeah.
But, or,
Nice little possibility. God damn it, Michael.
Or it's possible that they sent it back to before the archive was even built, so that all that stuff never happened in the first place.
But she didn't exist before the archive was built.
Yeah.
And also the hair.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's just a...
She was born with long hair.
Yeah.
Michael.
Or that not having the archive being built could have changed some stuff. But, you know, there's just... It's one of those endings that's up for interpretation.
Yeah.
Eh.
You know, I think it was...
Loved the ending.
Yeah, I liked the ending. I thought it was the ending that it was said that it was the ending that it needed. But
Good one.
yeah.
That it needed. It's the ending it's been working towards. I think.
Yes. Yeah.
See, this is another thing that
What I meant.
a big problem for it with me is again just like I don't like how it's paced. It feels rushed.
And I don't
Well, it
know.
is a little rushed.
The
I don't think
whole
so.
AI uprising should have been longer.
I don't think that it could have been. We had 3 episodes of it, and I think if it had been any longer, it would have been like they would have been dragging it out too much.
Why not? They drag out everything else.
I thought that the ending it had its moments of action, and it also had its moments of quiet introspection, which is a lot of anime endings don't get. So.
Yeah.
And like the plot was never the point.
If they were slightly better pacing throughout the rest of the anime.
Yeah, there was that. I mean, because it's a little bit episodic up until then, but
Yeah.
I think part of it is that I mean the plot was never really the point. It was always more about Vivi's character development, and I think that she reached the climax of her character arc. So
Cared about her character development. I'm sure it was a very touching ending.
And I think that's probably the thing is because the anime is about her character arc, but you were more invested in the plot. So since it ends on a character has a character focused ending, we're gonna be dissatisfied with it either way.
Because her character wasn't interesting from the get-go. The plot was vaguely interesting. And so that's why I was willing to stick around and watch it.
So, fair enough. Like, I liked her. I thought she was cute. But,
I liked her. She's just boring.
It's just one of those animes, I guess the enjoyment thereof is going to hinge on how much you like the main character. Like Bunny Girl Senpai, or you know, stuff like that. It's like if you don't like the main character, you're gonna end up not vibing with the anime, and you know that's fair. So anyway, let's move on to Fruits Basket. Where are my notes on Fruits Basket?
Is it good?
I thought it was last week was the last one.
On what? Fruits Basket?
Yeah.
No,
Wasn't
there's
last
still...
week the clip episode?
Yeah, there's still one more episode after this one.
Okay, so I was caught up before I thought I was caught up.
Yeah, in this episode, Toru and Kyo officially got together, and the curse broke.
Yeah.
And they told the true story of the of how the Zodiac thing kind of came about. Which
nice.
Yeah, but they have skipped some. There's a lot of stuff that seems to have gotten cut out of the anime that I would like to discuss, like Maki and Kakeru, like the whole thing with the driver of the car that hit Kyoko and also died. Like that all got cut out. We never met Maki. We never heard about her dad or any of that. We just know that Kakeru is kind of giving side eye to Toru, but we never learn why in the anime.
Mm-hmm.
And also we also didn't get the story about Kyoko and Katsuya. So I wonder if they had always been planning to cut that just so that they could keep the last season to 12 episodes, or if that was something that got sacrificed because of COVID.
That sacrifice because of COVID. Because if I remember correctly, that was a pretty big part of dipshit vice president's character arc.
Yeah.
Even if we don't really see much of it, like, it influences his character a lot.
Yeah. And like they did set it up with him giving Toru the stink eye, and I guess there's just never gonna be any closure on that in the anime. Like Kyoko and Katsuya, we don't need their little love story. It's not super necessary. But losing Maki and her dad kind of does take away from Kakeru a lot. But he's not a main character, so I guess they could just have him.
But he's an important one.
Yeah, he is, but he's also important for being Machi's
first real friend.
Yeah, and he's also Machi's brother, and we got Machi's thing, so.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
You're probably right. Oh no, yeah, you're right. They are half siblings.
Yeah, they're half siblings.
I always forget about her family's bullshit. Oh look, we've got 2 teleporters. I was so excited to finally catch an Abra because I never managed to when I'm doing those laps, and then I remember that Abra is useless.
Yeah.
Not useless, it just takes a little while to get going.
Yeah.
I am going to be switch leveling her for the next 10,000 years.
So once she evolves, Kadabra's not too bad, and if you can manage to turn it into an Alakazam, that's one of the strongest psychic types.
Mm-hmm.
But she has to survive to that point first.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure she will. Should they have cuts? Why can't they teach her cuts?
Anyway, so I guess we're done talking about Fruits Basket.
I'm not caught up.
Higehiro.
If that woman raises her hand to Sayo again, I'm going to cut it off.
Yeah, that's one of those things. What she did, one of the things that you're explicitly not supposed to do when your kid runs away. You're not supposed to yell at them. You're not supposed to hit them. You're supposed to
hit them
say,
under any circumstances.
"Oh my God, I love you so." You're supposed to like tell them how much you love them and are happy that they came home. You're not supposed to punish them for leaving.
Yeah, but it's been established that she doesn't give a shit about her kid.
No, she's shitty. She's a bad mom.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking of bad moms and running away, how many times did you try to run away when you were a kid? I think I tried to run away.
Once.
I think I tried 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, I think I tried 4 or 5 times. I actually left the house thrice. Once I made it like 2 miles before I turned around and came back. So.
Yeah.
Around, I got found.
Oh, did you?
I think the last time I tried, I walked up to the nearby church and I had a slight panic attack.
Yeah.
And then our youth pastor ratted me out.
Oh, what a dickhead! I left at night both
I
times.
think the only time I tried to run away, I turned around.
Yeah.
And that fucker made me throw away all of my fucking stuffies. So.
Oh, fuck that guy! I hate him. Every time I always planned it that I would I packed during the day and then left in the middle of the night after everybody went to sleep. Which is part of why I didn't get very far, because I would eventually get scared of the cars and turn around and go back.
Yeah, I went when I was supposed to be going to school. I just, instead of going to bus stop, I just started fucking walking.
Yeah.
I didn't get very far.
No.
Twice now,
Yeah.
it has eluded the
My childhoods were so fun and
Yeah.
not traumatizing.
Anyway,
What were
Higehiro.
we talking about?
Higehiro. She
You
got
guys were
closure
talking
for
about
her
Higgy
role.
Hero,
For her.
and you decided to just go head straight into oversharing hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's been years, so we can look back on it in nostalgia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if we don't do it occasionally, the listeners will get confused.
Yeah, it's like the times when trying to
Will they get
reenact I
confused?
tried to be the protagonist of an adventure novel for 12-year-olds. Because that's what we had in our days instead of YA, we had Animorphs, Goosebumps, and stories about kids who leave their abusive parents' houses in the middle of the night.
God.
And they always cut
You know
their
what
hair too.
series I didn't find until like high school, but that I really wish I'd had around when I was a kid.
What?
It's fucking Gregor the Overlander series.
Never heard of it.
Okay, the parents in that one aren't abusive, although the dad has been kidnapped by underground evil people who are trying to make some sort of prophecy come around. Anyway, it's by Suzanne Collins, and it's really good.
Oh, she wrote Hunger Games.
Is the legatus really planning to take?
Didn't she write Hunger Games?
Yeah, she did.
Ah, I saw the first movie, and that's all the Hunger Games I have ever consumed.
And a huge one at that.
Oh, I liked the book.
Yeah.
They were good.
I was too old for them by the time
and
they came out.
Overlander
But
has
I
a lot
thought
of
the
some
Emperor
same
had
hallmarks.
given up the Western lands for
People
lost.
get traumatized and they act traumatized, and the ending is kind of
Possibly
bittersweet.
hoped to gain by acting alone.
Yeah.
About a 12-year-old boy who falls down a laundry chute and rescues his baby sister after she falls down the laundry chute, and they end up in an underground world.
Huh.
And there's wars and prophecies and racism, and it's very good.
You know, there was a book I really liked when I was a kid. It was about a little boy, about like 12 years old, and his little sister who is paralyzed, and they get separated from their family during an earthquake. And at some point, the little girl is remembering how to do a marine crawl
Amigo, my lord.
because she gets knocked off of her wheelchair, and her brother got into a fight right before the earthquake, so they're separated.
I presume.
Anyway, I keep thinking about that book for some reason. I don't remember what it's
I
called.
don't know what you.
There's another one about a 12-year-old boy. I read a lot of books about 12-year-old boys with bratty little sisters when I was a 12-year-old boy with bratty little siblings.
But you know,
But anyway, this other one was set on the Titanic, and their mom dies, so that was fun. Anyway,
Remember the Hatchet?
yes, I do. I love the Hatchet.
Yeah,
I
liked
love
the first
Castaway
book,
Story.
And then it kind of went off the rails
Yeah.
in the sequel.
I love
is that
Castaway
the one
Stories.
where the boy
Yeah. Castaway Stories are great.
The plane crash in
The
Canadian
Martian.
wilderness and has to survive.
The Martian's good. Life of Pi is good. I tried reading Robinson Crusoe, and this is key. I tried reading Robinson Crusoe because I love Castaway Stories, and it's the first one. But the important thing about Castaway Stories is that you have to want the protagonist to be saved. And the reason he got cast away was because he was going to go kidnap people to force them into slavery. So I didn't want him to be saved, so I didn't finish it. He also had his whole ship full of stuff to get stuff to, so I was like, yeah, he was cast away on easy mode, so I was like, fuck this guy. So, you know, fuck Robinson Crusoe. Anyway,
that's amazing.
Higehiro. She got closure for her dead friend, and it was very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think,
It's nice to see we're all so chatty about Higehiro.
yeah.
I know. So you
It's
got
'cause-
to grieve a little bit.
It's just one of those anime. This episode hit a little bit close to home. That's why we're talking about.
Yeah.
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 So do you want to move on, or do you want to actually talk about it?
We can talk about it a little bit.
Yeah.
I did appreciate that they gave her a chance to actually start fucking grieving. For,
Yeah. And
Like, instead of just burying it like
And-
she's been doing.
yeah, and I like that Yoshida told her that it wasn't her fault.
Yes.
He told that there was only so much she could have done. She was a kid. Like,
Yeah.
Friend died.
Her friend killed herself.
yeah.
Oh, joy. Okay,
She
I'm
was-
checking out of this conversation again.
Yeah, she was being
Yeah.
bullied, and they said it was because of her, so. But yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway. So,
Yeah.
I guess we talked about 86, but that ended 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
They should. I was so convinced. I haven't read the light novels yet, but I looked up the TV tropes page last week because I was so convinced that this first season was ending and it wasn't going to get a second season for some reason. I don't remember why. I think I just didn't.
Because they're shoving stuff that should be the start of a second season into the end of the first season.
Man, I was alright with with last week's episode having been the last episode of the season if that had been the last episode. But then they added on a third finale.
Oh god.
And everyone dies. It was so nice. Last episode we got to see everyone like getting out and exploring and kind of just being sort of almost little kids. Like they were just exploring a ruined town and it was very cute and peaceful. And then that episode ended with fucking another battle. This episode has a lot more of them just like being kids, doing kid shit and exploring. And then they get into another fucking fight and everyone fucking dies. Like what's the fucking point of that?
Making sure you know there won't be a season.
Yep.
There will be another season.
How is there going to be another season? Everybody's dead.
It's shit, man. You know how in the early episodes it would do that thing where it would cut like halfway through the season and then show what had happened in that episode so far?
Yeah.
From Lena or okay, it did that in this episode, and I was so but where it did it right after Shin made some fatalistic comment about how I wonder whose name I'll win when I'm part of the Legion. But before he died, and then it cuts and it goes to Lena, and I was so convinced the episode was going to end with Lena just like stealing a helicopter and going to go find them, and it didn't. She just takes the cat and goes home apparently.
Huh.
Fuck.
Well, at least the cat's
Like-
okay. The cat
They
didn't die.
took 2 weeks back in the past.
Yeah.
I was so annoyed. It was such a bad. It wasn't bad. It was just depressing.
Yeah.
Oh look, another runner.
Alright, should we move on? We need to talk about launch week
Do
for
we?
webtoons. Yep, there's 13 new ones so far. And about 2.5 of them were good. And I'm not actually sticking with any of them. But we gotta talk about
Which
them.
2.5 did you think were good?
Well, let's see. First up, we had How to Survive a Romance Fantasy. I liked that the villainess's name
boring.
was Eveline.
It was very masterstroke subtlety.
Yes.
Characterization.
So it's set up like it's supposed to be a parody, but it hits all the same beats as every other reincarnee in a boring book doesn't want to do the thing webtoon, and adding 2 extra characters just means we get to watch them all thrice instead of making them feel fresh in any way.
Yeah, it's.
It was bad. It was boring.
Hey,
It wasn't funny.
Kat gets away with this a little in My Knight's Life because she's not the ruler of a nation.
No.
She's just his unwilling fiance.
And she,
But
she
I
didn't want to
absolutely hate it
die.
when-
And that's she didn't want to die, which is a fair thing to want.
Yeah. And like that's a valid motivation for Eveline because I'm pretty sure that was also her fate.
Yeah.
But also like you guys are the rulers of a country. Just fucking be adults. I don't care that you still think of it as a fucking fantasy setting. You live here now.
Yeah. It's like this is your
What
this
if
is your
it was the
world.
fucking prince
Grow the hell up.
of his country,
Yep.
and he just fucking up and runs away.
Yeah. I mean, though I I would be okay with the I don't want to be empress thing if it was because imperialism is bad, because it is, but it's not. She just doesn't want the responsibility of being an empress.
Yeah. Which is fair. I wouldn't want that responsibility either, but like, someone's gotta have it. You
Yeah.
seem like you're halfway a decent person.
Yeah, like I thought,
Really fun
Sucking, but
but like that half
resolves
second.
the imperial fucking thing.
Yeah.
fuck, man.
Anyway, next was Gecko-chan.
This is another-
If you like cute, no
I
stakes
did look at
comedies
that one.
that aren't funny, or you have a kid that reads webtoons, you might enjoy it. But I got bored pretty darn quick.
Oh yeah, it was not great.
Her mannequin was the first of the ones that I kind of liked.
Oh, you liked that one?
Yeah, I liked that because it was creepy because this dude, you had this one who's 10 years older than this kid, and she's manipulating him, and all this stuff, and it's being played as romantic. But I liked the plot twist that it is actually creepy on purpose. But I went through my subscriptions and unsubscribed from a lot of them because I was just following too many, and that was one of the ones I stopped following. But it's one that does have promise, and I do recommend you guys check it out if that's the sort of thing that interests you. Next was Homesick. I'll go for it.
I was gonna say, I've just been fucking overexposed to romance genre recently. It just isn't interesting to me today.
Yeah, that was a bit of it too. It's like most of these are just all in genres that we've seen before. Next was Homesick, which I really want to like, but I just couldn't vibe with it for whatever reason. The biggest thing that I could kind of put my finger on was the art styles. That it's the art style would be good if it was kind of like a comedy, but it's not. It's being played like completely straight, and it's just kind of it's just weird.
I almost liked it, but that's another one that the pacing just got to me.
Yeah.
Everything was happening too quickly. Andre, I need you to hit this motherfucker, please.
And then next was Love Falls Like Rain. And
oh, that was bad.
Oh, that one I dropped. Is like when it got to the magic sparkly umbrella that was immediately followed by an exhibition called Umbrellas in Art. I was like, you know what? Not for me.
I made the umbrella magically teleporting her to a different country.
Like
with apparently no physical side effects whatsoever.
Like no. No
so
thanks.
bad.
We're good.
And I just want to make it clear here. If any of these bad romances had been queer, I'd have stuck with it.
Oh yeah. If any of the
Only because.
I mean, Webtoon is pretty good. They have a lot of queer characters in the Webtoons, but most of it is in their originals from Western artists. You don't get it a lot from the translations of Korean comics.
And unfortunately, that's what we've ended up reading a lot of recently.
Yeah, I mean there are some like Meow Man has her best friend is gay, and that's like ends up at the end she's got a girlfriend, so that's cool. But those are like few and far between.
Have you been keeping up with Marry Me?
No. That was when I dropped.
There's been this running subplot recently of I'm blanking on their names. Of the main man's brother avoiding a girl who has an obvious crush on him. And the way it's framed, this entire subplot, I've been thinking, okay, it's going to turn out that he knows she has a crush on him, and it's awkward because he's gay. And then it got to the most recent episode, and he didn't know that she had an obvious crush on him, and he has a crush on her too, and it's just very boring.
Yeah.
I'm bored.
Yeah.
And he's just the side character. It would have been perfectly safe to make him queer.
Yeah, it would have been, but they didn't.
Which they might still do, but like I'm not holding my breath.
No.
I need you to learn an attack. Please, just one attack.
Next is Warriors of the Wild, which I put that I'm going to need a few more chapters before I have an opinion other than extremely YA, and it's another one that I decided not to stick with. It is extremely YA. So if you are a young adult, check it out. You might enjoy it, but I was too old for YA when I was a YA, so.
I don't know. I like young adult, and I did not particularly care for Warrior of the Wild.
Yeah, when I was the YA age group, I was reading X-Wing books and Stephen King, like.
Yeah, we know you were edgy, but
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, YA wasn't a genre when I was that age.
Yeah, it's very. The protagonist is very typical of like early aughts female protagonists who are like very determined to be. No, I'm a girl. I don't want to be a warrior.
Yeah.
Kind of bullshit. Like.
Well, it's no, it's like I'm strong and feminine. Oh, he's shady. He's up to something. He's a bad guy. I can just tell.
Oh yeah, he's almost definitely just fucking lying.
Yeah, he's a shithead.
But I guess we'll never know for sure.
Nope, we'll never know.
Because I'm not continuing.
No. Next is Take Me, I'm Yours. The translation has some issues and it needs to be brushed up a bit because it's a little bit unnatural. Also, my only note is meh. I remember nothing about that.
Yeah, I think I read the first episode and got bored.
Yeah, next one.
That's the one with the girl raising her siblings, living with a couple of other kids. It feels like they're siblings.
I'll take your word for it. I remember nothing about it.
I might be confusing it with another one of the other forgettable launch titles.
Yeah, the next one was A Man's Man, and my only notes are Yay Capitalism and Met ×2. I remember nothing about that one. I think that's the one about the guy who goes back in time after his friend kills himself.
And he goes back in time after visiting the funeral.
Yeah.
Funeral? Wait, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Of a dead co-worker.
Who killed himself because he got promoted above him or something.
The only thing I can remember about that, aside from that, is that he killed himself because restructuring that was going on at the time. He lost his job.
Ah. Yeah, that's fair.
All I remember thinking about it, aside from how, this is going to have something to say about capitalism, right? Is, with a name like A Man's Man, this is going to be super gay, right?
I'm guessing none of those are true.
Yeah, probably not. I mean, the first one might. It's made very clear that he's unhappy by the work schedule he's had to keep, and it has ruined his life.
Yeah.
And also,
but
he goes back in time because someone who he used to kind of like killed themselves because of the restructuring he was in charge of.
Yeah, like if I was him and I went back in time to before I applied for a job that I would eventually go to hate, I would not apply for that job.
Me neither.
Yeah. But
See, we have self-determination and common sense.
Yeah.
Well, no, because thinking about it, if that was the only job I could get and I desperately needed the money because I lived in a world that valued money above lives, I would probably still apply for that job.
Yeah, probably. But like it's pretty much well established that it's not the only job he could get. It's just the one that he wanted when he was that age. But
weird.
Anyway, next was Return of the Blossoming Blade, and I liked that it was a reincarnation fantasy where the character doesn't know everything that's going on or everything that's going to happen. I did not like that he's still a martial arts genius, and the whole just setup of the plot just kind of didn't seem like it was going anywhere interesting for me, so just not sticking with that one. But if you do like historical fantasy fiction, then you might like it. It's got potential, just not enough for me to stay with it when I was clearing out my subscriptions. Next was Sixth Sense Kiss. Don't date your boss, especially if he's a shitty boss like this dick. But overall, it's fine if you like rom-coms, I guess.
It has good rom-com since 13 going on 30.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Joe Cormia was also very good.
Yeah. Plenty of good rom-coms, that's just not one of them. Next was The Ember Knight, which is an excellent example of what not to do in a comic. So, I'm going to do a quick comic writing 101 for you. First of all, don't have your characters narrate the first chapter plot twist. That's lazy. Second, the action doesn't flow well because the characters are either super fast to the point where layout continuity doesn't matter, or impacts all happen off screen. So they don't flow from panel to panel. Third, if a scene is established as coming from the POV of a single character, the audience should be no more privy to the internal monologues of the other characters than the POV character is. To wit, how do you know about the stuff you weren't there for? So yeah, there's some so read that if you want to know what not to do when introducing people to your new comic.
With regards to the people moving too fast, that's a problem that a lot of action-heavy webcomics have.
Yeah.
Like, they desperately need to be animated.
Yeah.
It's a problem Omniscient Reader has, too.
It does, but with
As I
Omniscient
said,
Reader, you can
the
still
rant that I
follow.
cut from my review.
In Omniscient Reader, you can still follow what's going on and who's doing what. With this one, it wasn't so much, mostly just because you don't know who any of the characters are. With Omniscient Reader, they do take time to introduce the characters for you before they get them fighting a lot. So, like how long were we with the high school girl before we saw her fight for the first time? For example.
I mean, she was introduced murdering her best friend.
Yes. But
other than that,
I do still kind of get her and the other one,
really long stretch,
and that other one with the I kind of get them mixed up a little bit, but that's only because they both have long black hair and in ponytails.
Yeah, you're talking about I can't pronounce their names. I'm sorry. And
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
me neither.
try.
Her,
You're talking about high schooler and
the one with
the
the Buddhist guardian.
Is
Her, I don't know her
their
name.
sponsor? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't.
Next was Hanlim Jim. First of all, somebody at one point says, "We'll never do it again from now on," which is awkward. And then remember Cromartie High School? That's a good show. Cromartie High School. Watch Cromartie High School. Don't read Hanlin Jim. I mean, if you like stuff about delinquents fighting each other, then you might enjoy it. But it looks like it's going to be more of an mixed martial arts sports kind of thing than delinquents fighting each other. So you know.
You know what webcomic had a lot of promise that was very MMA heavy that I ended up having to ditch because it was bad.
What?
God of High School.
Yeah. The boxer.
Okay, let's be fair. It wasn't bad, but it was constantly raising the stakes with very little downtime between crises.
Yeah. Like, I liked the boxer right up until it got to the point where they said, "Yeah, you know this guy you've been following the whole time? He's not actually the main character. Lol, fooled you." And I was like, you know what? I don't like that. I don't think I'm going to read this anymore. I dropped it. But,
Boring.
Yeah. Last one.
There are times when.
Yeah, last one is Smitty and Majesty, which I got bored with and dropped halfway through the first chapter. It's just
I
like.
don't think I read that one.
Yeah, this is everybody has extremely on the nose names, and it's kind of boring.
So what I'm getting from this rundown so far is that very few of them of the launch titles were good, and none of them were worth actually keeping up with.
No, I mean, like from the last one, I think I'm only keeping up with one, which was Tales of Greed, and I mostly stuck with that one because I thought it was funny how the first the first one ended up with her turning into a fish. So yeah. But you know, like, cause I'm following I follow a lot of webcomics across like 3 or 4 apps. So like, it has to really make a very strong first impression for me to stick with it. Just most.
I don't follow webcomics.
Yeah, most just aren't gonna do that. Alrighty, so that's that. Did you read any of the launch week titles, Charlie? Because you've been quiet for a long time.
I checked out Blossoming Blade.
Yeah.
It's alright.
Yeah, it's
The main
alright.
character's an asshole, so I didn't
He
want
is.
to keep reading it though.
Yeah, he is. I know. Okay. Alright, so we should move on to our general discussion topic. Let's talk about... Let's see, I've got 2. But we're only going to talk about one of them. Let's see, which one do you want to talk about? Alright, here's a fun one. Either pass one law or decriminalize one thing. If you could, what would you?
One law or what?
If you could pass one
Decriminalize
law
one
or
thing.
decriminalize one
Oh, I
thing.
decriminalize sex work.
Oh yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
one. I would decriminalize stealing from anybody whose net worth is more than 10 times yours. So like if you
That's a
if you were
Yeah.
worth $1,000 and somebody was worth $50,000, you could steal from them up until you're worth less than 10 times what they're worth. Cause then that would balance each other out. Cause people who are only worth $1 could steal from somebody worth $1,000. You know,
Sure.
and it wouldn't be.
Oh shit! Don't use Flash.
So I figure you do
I'd
that.
make it illegal to have more resources than you could possibly spend in one lifetime.
Oh yeah, there should be like a 10.
And then any excess has to go into like social programs.
Yeah, I would say like $99
mean, how
million
much-
would be the maximum amount of money anyone's allowed to have to their name. Any more than that,
99 million?
yeah, that's already.
I mean,
way...
you don't even have to go that far. I'd say, like, if you have $1 million, you already can't spend that all in one
Sure, you
lifetime.
can.
Yeah.
$1
any
million
excess has to go to like welfare and shit.
$1 million, you would be spending 10. That's like, I think we did. Kian did the math and found she could live for 10 years on $1 million if she doesn't spend more than $10,000 a year, and that's just not enough to get by on. So, like,
Also,
yeah.
make sure prices are directly tied to the fucking minimum wage.
Yeah.
Understand.
Yeah, they should do that.
Hold on, I'm doing the math on that.
Like,
120,000.
well, I mean, like, if you decriminalize stealing from anybody worth more than 10 times what you are, then that would give incentive for bosses to make sure that their employees are making at least 10% of their salary. You know what I mean?
That would require employers to be real people who care about things.
Yeah. But it would mean that if they don't do that, then their employees could steal from them. And it would be totally legal.
Sure, but you also have to keep in mind that people with that much money can, like, hire guards and security and make it next to... Oh, thank you for the
Yeah,
escape rope,
sure they
Uncle.
could, but...
Makes it impossible for you to actually rob them.
Yeah, but they'd also want to make sure those guards and their security are making less than at least 10% what they make. Or else the guards and security will rob them. Because it's legal.
True. You make an excellent point.
Yeah, see? So the idea is just to basically, you one way or the other, if you did this, the wealth gap would shrink. Because
You know
either,
how else the wealth gap would shrink?
if we got rid of
Kill
money,
everyone who makes more than a certain amount of money.
or we could just
That
get rid of
too.
money, because we made it up. It's fake.
It would make trade more difficult. I will grant you, it does make trading things more convenient, but also like, no, just get rid of it.
Yeah.
I understand the usefulness of it, but until we've moved on from capitalism, we can't have money.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go back to a barter system. That worked
Yeah.
well.
Oh yeah.
Ish.
I mean, it works well on a smaller scale. It gets trickier when you get to like international dealings and stuff.
We've got like a
Because like,
mutual aid and barter system, I think, is what we need. Anarcho-communism, baby.
be nice.
Yeah, wouldn't it? Anyway.
I'm going to get distracted for a moment. Excuse me.
Alright, should we move on to best and worst of the week?
Sure.
Alright, Charlie, what was the best new thing you did or saw or ate this week?
Now I got distracted, remember?
I said Charlie.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't really try anything new this week. I've tried that mansion game you were playing last night.
Which one? Manor Matters?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was fine.
It's basically just it recycles all the assets from a lot of the assets from like Gardenscapes and Homescapes, but it's a hidden object game. So if you like those games and you like hidden object games, you'll like it. Also, it doesn't stop you from taking screenshots during the hidden object part, so you can cheat, and it actually is
Everyone shut up, Emma's evolving.
It's balanced that it expects you to cheat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they move around, so it's not always
Yeah.
like
because
exactly how it's gonna be.
I used to really like Albion until it started crashing as soon as I opened it. And it has like the same kind of quality in the actual hidden object parts as Albion does, so it kind of scratches that itch from that one game that I wish I could play but won't because it's broken. So, you know, if you like hidden object games, check out Manor Matters.
Yeah.
Alright,
You. Oh.
Noah!
Fucking mini games. I want
Oh.
a game that's all just the fucking mini games. Those are fun.
I think they have those, you just kind of gotta dig around for them a little bit. Yeah.
The mini games of some games are just so much fun.
Yeah. Noah,
I
what's...
love pulling levers and moving. What?
What? Oh, go for it. Talk about your mini games before we move on to the worst of the week.
Oh no, I was just gonna say that I love them more than the main games usually.
Yeah. Well, they do have games from that. I don't know what they're called though. But if you watch as many,
What's my worst?
yeah, see as many mobile game advertisements as I do, then you will eventually find it. All right, Noah, what is the worst commercial you saw this week?
Okay, did you see that TikTok that was going around on Tumblr? About advertisements that would never get cleared in this day and age?
I think I saw it, but I was at work, so I just liked it and meant to watch it later and then never got around to it.
Oh my god. It's great. It cuts to someone watching an advertisement that starts out with a kid,
Oh, right! I remember that when I did watch it!
It just does a hard cut from him having fun with the tennis ball too. Makes me forget about my cancer.
It's a Walmart ad!
Shop at Walmart.
Yes!
I don't know if it's a real advertisement, but good lord, it was so bad.
Yeah.
No, probably.
Yeah.
That was real. The 90s were weird, man.
Yeah. That sounds like it would have come out around the time that the you know the one Old Spice commercial, the Old Spice guy, back when they were getting really creative trying to get people to actually watch ads for a little while? That sounds like it would have come about around that time. back in the
Dynamo
early
Hearts?
aughts. Yeah, back when when everybody was starting to get DVRs and stuff and could fast forward through the commercials, so advertisers started trying to get really creative with them so that people would watch their ads. So yeah, it seems like that's when it would have come about.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
I got distracted looking up that video for you. I'm not gonna show it on my stream because it's bad.
Yeah, I think I did watch
There,
it. I remember
feeling-
seeing it now.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That way when we post this video, we can include a link to it so they know what we're talking about.
Alrighty.
Oliver, stop loafing around and attack. You're so awful. I hate you.
Alright, so alright, let's close up with our plugs. Noah, plug something.
Okay, this is the thing that isn't me, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Watch Lady Night the Brave on YouTube. She does a lot of video essays on media.
I watched her one on Hill House.
Yeah, I've been watching all of them lately.
I watch so many video essays. It's one of those things, if I'm not careful, it's gonna be like webtoons where I just follow too many and I can't keep up with them all.
Okay, but like Lady Night the Brave is the best.
Excuse you, Lindsay Ellis is the best, but she is really good.
I don't like Lindsay Ellis.
No.
Like, I have to agree.
I mean, I've been following her stuff since she was with Channel Awesome, so.
Yeah, I haven't. I didn't like
Yeah.
her stuff when she was with Channel Awesome either.
Yeah, her stuff when she was in Channel Awesome is not as good as it is now. Like, even she's embarrassed by it, so.
As she should be.
Yeah. But yeah. Another good one. Speaking of video essays, I like Renegade Cut. This is not my plug. We're just chatting now. I guess we're having a second general discussion. Yeah, he's great. All this stuff always ends up in my home recommendations, so I end up rewatching a lot of his. My favorite of his is the one about Left Behind. I've watched that whole thing like 3 or 4 times. I just love it.
A lot of videos about Left Behind.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I will always watch people rip Left Behind apart. Because we had those books in our house growing up and had to and ended up reading a whole bunch of them because Mom kind of sort of made us. But I always just skipped to the parts with David, and then after he died, I finally got to stop reading them. But
I didn't even get that far.
yeah, they're
I
bad.
got to the point where oh god, I don't remember which volume it was, which book it was, where the dude gets marked with the mark of the beast against his will, but he still has the mark of
Yeah, that's
Christ
David.
because Christ is the one true, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I thought, actually, I don't want to read this anymore, and so I just stopped reading it.
Yep.
Left Behind was bad, y'all.
Oh yeah, it's real bad.
I liked them. Weirdly, I liked that one adaptation that came out.
With Nick
It
Cage.
was one with Nick Cage, and I think I only liked it because of Nick Cage.
Yeah, that one. People seem to enjoy it. Well, because they cut out a lot of it, and it's just mostly just about the stuff on the plane.
It's just mostly about Nick Cage hamming it up to the camera.
It's got Nick Cage in it. He's always fun.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, moving on. Charlie, what would you like to plug?
Well, Juneteenth was yesterday.
And
So I'd like to plug our government actually doing that fucking helps. Doing something that fucking helps. Like passing the anti-lynching law.
I kind of have mixed feelings on them making Juneteenth a official federal holiday because it feels like it feels like an empty gesture because slavery is still totally legal in certain circumstances. So so here's a fun fact for you. The Statue of Liberty was given to us as a gift to celebrate the ending of slavery. But all that stuff about give me your 100 things about immigration was added because slavery was still totally legal in certain circumstances. Even the guy who gave it to us regretted giving it to us because of that. So that's why I kind of have mixed feelings about Juneteenth. It's a very neoliberal move, I think.
Mm-hmm. If you're wondering what we're talking about when we say under certain circumstances, slavery is legal as punishment for a crime.
Yeah. Also,
Any-
unpaid internships are totally slavery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is part of the problem I have with
Yeah, it's the
um,
reason why
inmate.
it's part of the reason why there's so much over policing and our prisons are so overfilled because they're full of free cheap labor force because you know, legal slavery.
into the very foundations of our society.
Yep.
But no one wants to fix that because then people won't make as much money.
Yeah, capitalism, man. Fucking capitalism. But yeah.
Oliver, please cooperate.
Anyway, so I'm gonna plug a mobile game called Dragon Raja, which I've been playing a lot lately. It is an MMO, and it's a lot of fun. Did like some PvP thing yesterday, and I won, and I felt very proud of myself for it because I'd never done it before and had no idea what I was doing, but it was fun. So the character models can be weird, and the translation is bad, and the voice acting is only marginally better, but it is a fun game.
Really selling me on this game, eh?
It's a fun game. I got to level 70, so I was able to unlock the Reaper class, which means I have a raven, and a cat that join me in battle, and my idle animation is playing with whichever one of them happens to be out. So, yeah.
Sounds very good.
Yeah. Just check it out. So yeah, so let's move on to promotions. You can find me here at twitch.tv/Ryotar, IHLOTR. I stream regularly Sunday mornings and Thursday evenings. I did not stream this Thursday evening because it didn't drop down below 100 degrees until 3 a.m. And that's just too hot to have my air conditioner off. So I'm not streaming as much in the summer, but I am still trying to stick to my Sunday mornings and Thursday nights, provided it's not too damn hot for at least a little bit. And but yeah,
I don't know how you live out there. It got to 109 earlier this week.
yeah. Well, I work.
We all collectively agreed.
I work the graveyard shift, so I'm asleep during the hot part.
God, I wish that was me.
Yeah. I also have my air conditioner right next to my bed and a fan on the other side of my bed.
Nice.
Yeah.
I usually just end up waking up during the day and then falling asleep playing whatever Switch game I happen to be playing.
Yeah, that's always not a bad
And I'm
idea.
up all night anyway.
Yeah. It's not a bad idea. I've been
What's a
following
bad idea?
I'd say that it's not a bad idea.
Yeah. So that I did last night start replaying Fire Emblem again.
Oh, that is a bad idea. Oh, speaking of Fire Emblem, I started playing Pirates 101, which is a Fire Emblem type game, and it's fun. I get to be a pirate. It is a baby game for babies,
Does it
but
have Claude?
I don't know who Claude is.
He's my favorite child.
Oh.
He's the obviously bisexual, except no, fuck you character.
And Pirates 101?
No,
No.
in Fire Emblem Three Houses. He's the
Oh,
leader of the
no.
Golden Deer, and he is so clearly bi, and he is only available for an S rank with a female pilot. And I am so pissed because there's literally no change in his dialogue depending on which avatar you pick for Violet. It's
Oh.
the same no matter what. It is gay as hell regardless of what you're doing, and they won't let
Please.
Anyway, Pirates 101 has a really cool fox lady who becomes friends with you. I have a fox friend in Pirates 101. It's a baby game for babies. Anyway,
See.
Noah, promote your shit.
Twitch.tv/ArcticNoah, ARCTICKNOA8. I'm streaming whenever it's cool enough. Sundays for sure, because I stream while we're doing this. And I'm trying to get back into doing it on Wednesdays, but like this Wednesday was over 100 degrees and our air conditioner sucks ass, so that didn't happen.
Yeah.
And then I stream Thursday nights sometimes with Ace when it's not 120 degrees out where he's living.
Nope. But it's gonna be 120 degrees for a while. It doesn't start cooling down till October.
Wow. Wow, that sucks for you.
Yeah. So I've been drinking lots of water.
Good. Drink some,
Charlie, last but not least, let's get your promotions.
Oh yes, I'm on Tumblr, Magic Like a Charlie. I will eventually get back to streaming, but not until summer is over because I'm a big old baby.
Oh, we got a new follower, DVA Mechanics.
It's
Thank you for
been-
following.
I spent 10 years living in a very nice temperature zone.
Yeah. By very nice, we mean it got to about a 104, which at this, where we're living now, where I'm living now, sounds like a dream. Ideal temperature 104. Oh, Charlie lived
Would be nice.
someplace even cooler.
Yeah, Charlie lived by the ocean.
Yeah,
Must have been nice.
they go to the beach.
If it weren't for who
Yeah.
they were living with, it would have been perfect, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
God, I wish I could live by the ocean. I
Yeah.
miss the ocean.
It's nice. I
We
never
should go to the
visited unless you were there, but
We should go to the ocean for my birthday next year. We should go to the ocean for Christmas, which is only a month or so before my birthday, so it won't make that much of a difference.
Yeah. Anyway.
I went to the ocean for my birthday a few years back, and it was great. It was cloudy and gray, and there was no one there. And of the 3 people who went, I was the only one to actually go into the ocean. And it was so cold, you guys. I almost died.
that
Yeah.
would be why nobody else went into the ocean, yes.
It was perfect. Oh, I want to do it again one day. But alas, I have to have funds for that.
Yeah. Anyway. Thank you all for
Which is
joining
a
us.
perfect segue into promoting your Patreon again, Ace. You should do that.
Yes, please support our Patreon. Ace Anime Reviews at Patreon. Support us so we can go to the beach. Anyway, take care. We all love you, and thank you for joining us.
Stay safe, get vaccinated.
Yes, do that.
Yeah, get vaccinated.
Getting my second shot on Tuesday, so on Wednesday I get to spend all day lying on my nice new mattress topper, being sick.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Reaction to it.
really?
Oh, that's not true. I was completely immobile the day after, wasn't I? Because I was so fucking sore all over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did
See,
have a bad reaction to it, but not like a horribly bad one.
Yeah, like the first one I spent, I had a day where my arm was hurting, and then a day where it was itchy, and then I've had a sore throat off and on since, which may or may not be entirely unrelated.
It's probably unrelated.
Probably. I know it's not allergies though, because
work
I've been
out.
taking my my allergy medication. Anyway, so yeah, everybody take care. Happy Father's Day to me, because I am now all of your father. If you're listening to this,
Is it
Don't-
Father's Day?
it is Father's Day. And that joke I made at the beginning about how if you're listening to this, I am now your dad, I had planned before I realized it was Father's Day.
Oh, that's good. Good
Yeah.
timing then. Very.
Yeah, just cause
that's
I came to the realization when driving home from work the other day that I listen to Dad Rock and I make dad joy jokes and I have a dad bod and the only thing I'm missing is human children. So now I'm just everybody's dad. Even if you're my dad and you're listening to this, I am now your dad. Go to bed.
Your dad's not listening to this.
I know he read the transcripts back when we were still doing them. He gets
Is he
email.
really?
Yeah, he gets email alerts for our site.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, he's been following our site since it was just me doing it.
Cool. I didn't know that.
Yep.
Hi, Dad.
You know,
Yeah.
patronize us.
Yeah.
Nah.
Nah. I would feel bad if he was our only patrons. Like, the only person supporting us is our father. That's lame.
I mean, that would be less awkward than if the only person supporting us was our mother at this point.
Our mom doesn't watch our
You're
stuff.
the person, you know, a
She
complete stranger
doesn't
maybe
care.
on-
Remember when we were kids and we were always writing and she refused to read anything we wrote because if she read anything we wrote, she would have to read everything we wrote and she just couldn't bear it. Like, oh, the
I
horror,
remember that.
having to show support to her
great.
children.
I was interested.
Anyway, we're done. We should stop. Everybody take
Yeah.
care.
Stop.
Yeah.
Happy Father's Day. Get vaccinated.
Yeah.
Free in America for everyone right now, I think.
Yeah. Even if you don't have insurance, you can just, you know, make an appointment, walk in.
Yep.
Yeah, get vaccinated, and then once you're fully vaccinated, go get a tattoo.
Yeah. I want to get a tattoo.
Yep. As your person, if I'm ordering you, go get a tattoo.
Yeah.
It doesn't even matter what it does.
As your father, make
Right.
sure that it's something that you don't want to show me. Alright. Bye bye.
You
Love
guys
you.
too. Get a tattoo of your extended zodiac sign.
I don't know what that is.
It's a Homestuck thing.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.